Hello everyone and welcome to another Torchlight Infinite video. Today I'm bringing an update to my Ignite Burning Shot Carino. Just, a lethal flash Carino build in general. So we reached level 80. Still, I got rid of a lot of trashy gear I was wearing. I was keeping because today at level 80. Level 80, the consensus overall is that this is the level where you really want to start testing things out before you commit to, your passive specifically. I have already tested a lot and I kind of settled on this setup. So first of all, I'm gonna go over what I'm currently using and what I think is probably a better alternative for the future. So I think I already had this set up before where with Goddess of Deception. However, what I did is instead of trying to get this first, because right now realistically the only thing that we can use is Poison Relief until we get a source of blur, like a very reliable source of blur. We cannot really use this, and Poison Relief is actually a very strong defensive multiplier, but I can need damage more. So I committed my 36 points for Psychic to get Repurification, which is arguably the most important talent, the most damage we can get in every other talent. And the other good one is the 36 points for Warlord, for Starfire, 1 max Ignite. There are also very good stuff here like plus levels, Affliction and whatnot. So Deception has this Plague. I tried playing without Plague and it's kind of uncomfortable. Now there is an alternative.
I still remember that fire.
You could very much
All those
get
burnt
that mod
corpses
here in a Scarlet Rifle.
and ashes that are darker than the
this
night.
one I dropped it and I've been trying to roll it a little bit. However, it's gonna, like, I have 2 mods I want to keep, but now it's gonna cost me a fee. I can't really afford that right now at all. You can see I'm actually blank. So so I'll keep this for later. Same thing about this. I'm still testing like what is the best combination of mod. What I've like the kind of conclusion I've come to is that probably we'll be sticking to muskets. First of all, because two-handed weapons can have higher base numbers, which is better for the skill and the affixes. So the most important part is this main hand weapon to basic Ignite. This can roll up to 167 to 260%. So this is the highest multiplier we can get on a weapon for a build. Then I really want added fire because of how the skill works. So this added fire would be multiplied by 5 and that will be added to basic Ignite damage because of Burning Shot. And the third prefix I want is actually a this affix, a Judgment affix, which is the main hand weapon is actually a Judgment. It's kind of bugged here how it's described, but what it does is it adds flat face to the weapon, which increases the base weapon damage, which increases Ignite damage, but also it has this mod. It's actually this mod. So it adds flat fees and it adds base ailment damage. Now, this is gonna come in handy when you realize that when using the belt that we're gonna be using. I don't really need the base, lightning damage, the base shock, but it's nice to have it. So these are the 3 prefixes I want. And in terms of suffixes, what I would really want is so the spread would be nice, but I don't really want to switch yet. Of course, the most important suffix is the reap. This is the biggest source of damage. Without this, the build just doesn't deal Like overall damage is high, but overall DPS, like damage is too slow without reaps. We really want multiple sources of it and cooldown reduction. I'll be trying building it this way. The other way to do it is so
There are no eternal thrones.
I think basically two
But may
ways you
glory
can
be
build into Reap.
everlasting.
One would be using a corroded Manellas. The trade house is a little bit bugged, but basically if you come here to legendary trinkets, there are two trinkets, two necklaces that could be used. So one is using a corroded Manellas, and what you do is search for some way to apply weaken, and then you have a 1 second cooldown, 1 second reap. So this will be basically applying every time. The issue with this as ignite is that you don't get anything else out of it, only this part. But I think this part is so powerful that it might be worth it. The other option is using Chain Behind the Curtain to first of all get blur. It gives blur rating, not blur. You still need a source of blur rating, and it also makes blur apply affliction. So basically, if you have 100 points of blur, the enemy will get to 100 affliction in a little of a second with this amulet, and you can combine this with the gloves. With these gloves. So what this will do is give you a reap on a 0.5 second cooldown. It's a small reap. This can get to up to 0.5, but the thing is that it's basically has no cooldown. But the downside is that affliction gets removed every time you reap. So what you do is Chain Behind the Curtain will keep reapplying the affliction. Once you reach 100, you'll automatically reap. So this could be like your main source of rip span, and you can have, you know, longer sources elsewhere as well to complement this one. I don't have the currency to get this combo. I think you really want to either get the corrosion here to remove half instead of all the affliction, or the 0.5, or maybe you actually want both, honestly, for it to feel great. And chain, you don't really need a corroded chain, but it's a bit pricey, you know. The base price is something. It's not really that cheap for a good one. And good corrosions will be blur effect. So blur effect will scale affliction, more affliction inflicted, and also
There are no eternal
having
thrones.
more blur effect is awesome for
But may glory be
subtle
everlasting.
impact. And I think psychic also has days. However, this is an additive damage and not a multiplicative one, so it's probably not great. But you can get blur effect here as well, and that will probably make the build better off going low life as well. So it's kind of a different way of building into it. But those are basically the two options. So what I'm gonna try right now is try to scale it without, and you know, trying to play off the budget, of the budget version. So okay, enough rambling. What I'm gonna do right now is go over the ways I would upgrade my gear. So currently this is
Please select
kind of
the
damage
calibration
we're building.
intensity
Let's
for
try the level
invincibility
75
number
one.
2.
This is without the beautiful flash you want to be moving, creeping. This is what we have right now. It's still on a 5 link. Haven't really upgraded gear too much. So this doesn't kill the level 80 hero boss, and I really want to get desperate measures because I believe this is going to be an insane upgrade in damage. So what I'm gonna do now is go over how I would go about upgrading this gear. I already bought some pieces, so I dropped some FE. I got it from the cube as well. Long story short, this is what I spent on. So I bought this amulet for 1, which has basic night, it has reap, hold, and fire rest. So I'm not gonna roll this at all, of course, because it has pretty much everything I need right now. I would love some life, but I'll stick to this for now because, you know, for this mod, this was, you know, kind of a steal. I'm gonna try to lean into this belt, and it also has aura effect for precise projectiles. I'm not using it right now, but I might in the future, so that's why I got this corrosion. This costed 5. Like the cheapest one without any useful corrosion was 2, so might as well just add the 3 and get something useful. What this belt has is it will allow me to apply 1 extra ignite, which at this point is like a 25% additional damage multiplier for me. I'm doing 3, so a fourth would be roughly 25% more damage. But I need to shock. Thankfully the belt already has shock chance, and the advantage is that lightning damage already has base shock. So all I need is to get a source of base shock, of added lightning damage to attacks, and that will probably allow me to apply shock and get the +1 ignite. Then gloves. At this point I really want to get more energy to be able to get a 6-link skill, because we're still on a 5-link. And you know, I want sources of reap, so these gloves have reap, have resistance, and have very high evasion. So again, I'm not gonna roll these gloves. Don't expect to get like this great of a gear on league start scenario with only 1 FE, but you can, you know, just get the reap mod and roll off the reap mod as well, for cheap. Like I did it with the deck stacking stuff with Bing. I bought this helmet. Again, high energy. We want high base. You need at least level 80 to be able to roll max energy. And in this case, I went for Affliction effect. It has cold resistance. I don't know if I'm gonna wear this because I can't really afford to roll this. I might actually have to buy another helmet and save this for later, honestly. I think that was my plan. I don't know why I ended up buying it, but anyway. I'll have to lean into it because I don't really have a lot of FEs left. Frost on the ring, erosion rest, and it has cold rest. I'm still gonna roll it because I want life and stuff, but I could just wear this as it is. And this ring that I wanted to roll it, but I stumbled into it. It has burst effect that is useful for us. It's not the best mod, but it does work. It has reaping recovery speed, and it has life and ailment damage. So this ring by itself, we could use it as it is.
Justice might come late,
Basically,
but it will never be absent.
I'm gonna equip this new gear. Erosion and cold risk. Let me try to do one roll. If I don't get anything, if I don't get a second dress, I'll probably just stick to it and just enchant life. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just use this as it is and just enchant life. My fire resistance is a little bit too low. Okay, let's keep this one for now. Of course. So what we're gonna roll is this chest piece. I dropped it. I also dropped this reap gloves. This one. However, as you can see, is not a tier 1 mod, and it's not level 80. It's already rolled with high energy, but it's energy shield. So I'm gonna instead wear these. This chest piece has resistance and has plenty of rest, but I want to see if I can craft something into this chest piece. So we're gonna try that right now. So I'm gonna lock in this mod, and what I want to roll is, but realistically I only have 9 of these, so we're gonna do 9 rolls. Okay, this sucks. Max lining, tier 4 elemental and region. Yeah, that's it. Definitely I'm gonna keep that. And I'll enchant erosion res. Okay, it's already looking better. I need more cold and I need more fire. So that's what I'll be looking for in enchants. This has fire and cold. The two ones I need. And the base is also fire and cold. So I'm gonna just put this. Okay, get a little bit more fire. Water almost capped. Then the belt and the new amulet that I'll use as it is. Okay, so we're rest capped. Erosion is low. This amulet also has some basic knight, so the basic knight value right now is 828. I want to get that a little bit higher, but we can also empower this gear. Oh, and the helmet, which I don't know if I'm gonna switch into because this, yeah, I cannot roll it yet, so I'll keep this old helmet for now, and also the slate.
I still
We basically
remember
have
that
no
fire.
slates right now. A lot of power comes
All
from
those
here.
burnt corpses.
So what I'll
and
do is
ashes that are darker than
this
the
one
night.
I cannot really roll. This one I can't either. I'm just gonna get rid of these. And I'm gonna buy a couple here at the cube. What I want is either deception or might. Might for ignite stuff, deception for ailment stuff and cooldown. So I'm gonna buy, let me see if I can get something interesting. Steel mana is good. We don't have a lot, right? So maybe I'll buy 2 here, and I'll buy a couple of mites too. Max life is good. And yeah, that's not awesome. Okay. We didn't get a lot. Let me see what. Oh. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely rolling this. Damn. I don't expect that to happen too often, honestly. But yeah, that's something. Unfortunately, I will be. It's unfortunate that it's only 6. I would have loved that to be on a 12. Anyway, so what happens every time you roll here? You have a chance of adding nodes, and once you have at least 3 or 1 node became purple, you have to use the other the purple ones. Okay, this is pretty good. Now we have 25% chance to upgrade either of these. These will never change. These are fixed. What you can get is only down here. So right now I have a high chance of adding a new one or a smaller chance of upgrading. Okay, so all of these is somehow useful. So I'll not revert it. Now I'll only have chance to upgrade. Ideally, I want to keep this affliction or get a higher mod of affliction. Okay, yeah, that's better because we don't really need attack speed. You know, general damage improves ailment damage too. Curse effect, okay, we're really lucky. Curse effect is better than mana. And let's see what I get it in the last roll. 8% affliction effect or life and life region. I'm a sucker for life region, so I think this is great. Like on only 6 rolls, this is an insane branding, honestly. So yeah, I'm gonna stick to that. Now I'm gonna try rolling this might as well. I think I can fit 3 right now. So let's see. Okay, more region. That's good. The critical is not useful, but I'm just gonna leave it there for the sake of upgrading. And life is good. Okay, so I need to upgrade that one. Defense improves evasion, so I think this is a good roll. I definitely don't ever use cooldown Warcry, so I'm gonna revert that, and the last roll will be okay. This is a very good mod. Approach speed works for us. We don't really need penetration because of lethal flash, but the radius is good for you know, debuffs and curses. And the last one, this one, you know, the seal mana. This is good as well, injury buffer. First
Justice
of all,
might come
let me
late,
see. I cannot
but it'll
change the
never
shades right
be
now,
absent.
so I need to work off what I currently have. So I'll see if okay. Yeah, I can probably roll. I can add an L here or here, or I can add the Z as well. Either works. I cannot add this though. Oh yeah, I actually can. I can add this here too. So I'll roll them both. See what we get. I think I need the seal mana one. So let's see what we get out of this. Second cast speed. We failed one. That's unfortunate. I don't really care about energy shield regain, and yeah, this is gonna be a flop. Oh, I think that saves it. Critical strike damage against enemies affected by element. I'll keep this because I'm contemplating doing crit elements. It's not awful, and also the 4% seal mana is just a godsend, honestly. And let's try this one. So energy shield, don't care for it. Fail, don't damage, good. More seal mana. Even more, yes. Oh, it's basically the same, so this is higher, so I'll keep it. And skill radius. So both turned out okay in my opinion. So
but may
definitely
glory
gonna
be
add
everlasting.
this one. This is absurd, honestly. Skill radius. I think I'm gonna go for this too. Get a lot of seal mana here. Injury buffer is good. Maybe not this one. What the other option? Yeah, this doesn't have any damage modifiers either, so I guess this is fine for now. And I'm gonna lock this one because I think I like it. This is shit. This has potential, but yeah. Okay, so resistances are capped, overcapped actually. I'm using the resistance aura, by the way, so I still need to invest a little bit more. I also need more erosion rest, and the weapon I can't really roll a better weapon right now, so I'll just stick to this for now. Because I need a feast to roll a better weapon. But what I'm gonna do is empower the gear a little bit.
Oh yeah, here for some new gear?
Links.
Or you wanna buy me a drink?
So I don't have a lot. This is obviously too low, so this has a higher chance to be better. I want maybe at least 50 or close to 50. But I'll settle for this for now. My weapon, the body armor is also too low, so maybe something closer to 100. Yeah, that's an improvement. Let's try a couple. Okay, there you go. Very good. And yeah, I need this maybe upwards of 50. 40. I guess I'll leave it at that. With that, I can add siblings for finally. So this is gonna help the damage a lot, and could either be Reaping Agony or think, because of how powerful Affliction is right now, Cataclysm, probably the better one. Fire penetration is definitely also good. Right now I have multiple proj, but the next upgrade I want to make is getting some projectiles here as well. And I need to do some enchants. This is full, no enchants can be done here. This is also full. I can either add erosion rares or life. I think I want some
Oh
erosion
yeah!
rares.
Here for some new gear? Or you wanna buy me a drink?
I'm gonna go for this. We have plenty.
Oh yeah! Here for some new
On
gear?
this
Or you
one,
wanna buy me a
so
drink?
I'll use this one to add lightning damage. It doesn't really have to be any higher. I just want to have the lightning damage to be able to shock. Here definitely some life. This will stay as it is, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything has. This is full. This is full. Yes, it's full. This is full too. This is not great, but getting there. Okay. With all of these changes, I think I can actually add another skill too, right? I was thinking, I don't think this fire terror damage is great. So maybe imbue, yeah, maybe imbue buff might be worth it, worth giving a shot. Or more damage. I definitely want, can I add something here to Scorching Pulse? Maybe increase area for some quality of life. And I wouldn't mind having armor infusion here. A little bit of more resistance. And yeah, we'll stay that way. Okay, there's a kind of a weird snapshot thing, so I'm gonna reset the instance, and we're gonna give it a damage test right now, a test drive.
Please select the calibration
We'll try it in
intensity for
75 before.
invincibility number 2.
I need to rest.
Able to reach upwards of 4 million. The damage definitely in higher already. By virtue of adding something. I need to solve that mana. But as you can see, we're shocking pretty much 100% of the time, and we're applying 4 ignites now. Wow. But mana seems to be an issue. So I'll probably have to figure out that eventually. But with this, I can... Why might mana be an issue right now? Okay, this had some mana regeneration speed. Oh, this had mana restoring hit. Okay, that's the why. So, and this also had mana regeneration speed. So, I can either get back to this ring. Distance don't change much. Yeah, I'll stick to this ring because I don't really want to use magical source. As you can see, it's more comfortable now. I can use aim, attack 4 times. Damage is way better now. So time to try the Hunter's Forge as talent. And then figure out how to make desperate measures work for us properly.
Embrace the power of great void embrace you eternally.
Mild special. Last time I actually ran out of time.
Your reign of evil ends
Got
here.
the level 80 talents.
For you have forfeited your last chance.
And let's give Desperate Measures a test drive now. Initial damage for each item consumed stacks up to 18, so that's 36% additional damage. Reload to ammo and reset projectile spreading angle when using a no channel mobility skill, and it really reduces. So this is for, you know, doing lots of shotgunning. What is Wayne Fear like this? By
I hope
default,
this is the right path forward.
is so you're getting a negative modifier of 25%, but you're getting an increased multiplier of 180, I think it is 180, so it's a net 165 additional damage, with the caveat of not being able to reload when you use some ability skills. So what will happen right now is this, but reloading is still fast
Please
enough, in my
select the
opinion. You just
calibration
can't spam
intensity
it.
for invincibility
So
number
I'm
2.
gonna try right now this.
I'll need some time.
Okay. You can see Desperate Measures is when what I need to figure out is maybe increase that resistance speed or magazine capacity to get even more damage. But yeah, so basically through mapping between level 70 and 80 I got some FE drops. Use that to invest in more energy, get a little bit more defense, a bit higher life, you know, cap resistances, which is very important for T6 and T7s. I'm gonna lean on evasion because I probably want to do something with blur and I can get that on boots. I can also at some point either use the there are 3 legendary boots that I think would be good for this build. One is Boots of the Sin's Fire because it's 30% additional damage. The other one is the Feline Steps, but this requires some agility blessing stacking. And of course, you know, King's Boon is the classic. However, you know, it adds a rip and gives you more or less, but like the less duration might be something I don't really want to do. So I'll have to test the 3 of them. With Boots of the Sin Fire, if I use Boots of the Sin Fire, I can use this chest armor, and I'll probably have to switch to armor instead of evasion. But this has a lot of fire damage. This can be corroded into fire pen, but with the downside that you get ignited. And but Boots of the Sin Fire make you immune to ignite. You can only deal fire damage. I think this can be corroded to additional, I think 16% additional fire damage. So that will actually be good as well. However, you know, trying to lean into this is not a common drop by any means. You know, it's a God of War exclusive. I have never dropped this item, so I think, you know, building around this will significantly increase budget, and if it's too good then it might be, you know, insane. But we might get some inflation fix with this, so it could be fine. So yeah, you can get, instead of the increased fire damage, you can get added physical as fire. So this is very interesting.
It's my duty to cleanse
Anyway,
all evil and
that's all I have
impurities.
for now. Of course, the other round progression is very important. We're at the I think Kill Thunder Waste level 5 quest. it was a bit difficult for me to do level 5 without without desperate measures and improving the gear. So actually gonna do that right now. Just so you can see.
You will regret pursuing the origin of thunder. You shall be imprisoned beneath the thunder.
Yeah, I don't like aim, but there is no good power skill for me to use. So.
This isn't my first
See, nice. Yeah, there is nothing else I can use for damage amplification with an attack ignite build other than aim. Outside of maybe doing manual cursing and adding something here, I don't know what. So I'll guess aim it is for now.
The gigantic machine in front of your eyes
Quick mapping
gives a
showcase.
strange, dangerous air.
Oh, we gotta start violence
When you
already
look
because
at
I need
it,
to do this next.
Something seems to
Do
be
this.
also gazing.
This is where you can see all the
It's your
ignite
honor
spreads.
to be judged by a member of the Herman family.
Here with this chunky monster, you really want to use the super weapon.
I'll need some time.
I have a bunch of healers because of the Ultra Flash memories. That gives lots of mobility skill charges. And you also get some mobility skill charges back whenever you hit with a projectile.
Violence is not the answer to
That
all,
was easy enough.
but it is the answer to
So,
your sins.
Yeah, that's all. That's all for now. Almost 40-minute video. For anyone that's still watching, I deeply appreciate it. I'm gonna be doing an update on Ignite mechanics next time. I found out some interesting thing through reading the Maxroll article. I'm actually gonna link the dot and Ignite and ailment Maxroll articles in the description for if you're interested in building at this type of character. I don't really recommend doing this skill in particular, or this setup in particular right now, because it's not tested. But you know, wilt is very good. There are a bunch of wilt builds, so if you want to understand how ailments work in this game, I can strongly suggest you give that article a read. Very good. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and see you on the next